Good morning from laststandbrand.com. Today is March 12th. Not quite springtime yet, so we're in the Last Stand Brand greenhouse. We're going to talk about selecting vegetables today. What do you put in your garden? Thousands and thousands of cultivars, let alone species of plant. We all have to grow what our fathers and mothers grew before us. But how do you fill up that extra space? What do you put in there that makes the most sense? There's not a whole lot of people to discuss this with. So I think looking back to history might be one way of helping you make a selection. Six 6,000 years ago, people selected vegetables, usually by two standards. Which was the most nutritious, and what could they eat 12 months a year? Easy enough for Babylonia and the Syrians as they were growing their gardens. They chose parsley. Parsley, of all the vegetables in the garden, has the highest concentration of vitamin C, probably why it's been grown 6,000 years. It's green 11 months of the year. It's March. I'm still taking last year's pickings from the parsley grown. What makes the most sense and which is the most sustaining? For the Middle East, it remains parsley. Takes very little water, withstands a lot of sun, and is very nutritious. The lore and history of parsley is the most interesting of all the vegetable kingdom, I think. When the seeds were planted in the early gardens, the parsley would take up to 40 days to germinate. Well, the beets and the carrots and the peas would already be 2 or 3 inches above the ground. Parsley was still below ground. Of course, the ancients thought, what's it doing down there? How could it be entertaining itself? Well, the devil's down there, so they thought the worst about it. That was confirmed when the parsley would come up and the vegetation close to the freshly sprouted parsley would die back in a perfect circle, perfect radius around the parsley plants. Kind of confirmed a little consort with the devil, I'd say. But the plant continues to be grown today for its nutritional value. The planting is really quite simple, and the germination, because of man's selection for the last thousands of years, makes germination about 2 weeks indoors. It's a biennial plant. You put the seeds in, it comes up, you harvest the stalks from the outside after about 5 weeks. And it's a biennial, so you won't get you won't pick back all of the seeds. Some of them will fall to the ground, sprout again next year. If you have a decent winter, the initially planted seeds will make it through the winter. Thus, greenery, fresh greens all year round. When you germinate the spinach, the parsley, put in 6, 7, or 8 seeds to a cell. That way, when they're transplanted, you'll have a clump, a cluster of parsley, which is what you're after. Well, that's the planting. That's the lore. I would strongly encourage everyone to use a corner or a row of parsley, since it keeps you active and fed all year. Well, Last Stand Brand out here.